What's up, team? How we doing? I have just finished my workout and I just thought, you know what? I always show you my workout. I always doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I just thought I'm gonna get out of the way, save you the boredom of watching it. Oh, I'm really steaming up here. But for all of you who want to know what I got up to, there was a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and a lot of this. So now we've got that boring part out of the way, let's get on with today. The keen ones amongst you may have actually heard me talk about a shop called Philip Brown. It's my favourite menswear shop in Norwich to buy anything clothes-wise. They've basically got a mixture of high-end street fashion all the way up to some pretty special designer names. And also a very, very cool tattooist upstairs who actually did these two of my tattoos by Rag and Bone. And they're twins, two boys up there, Wink and Rich, lovely guys, look amazing. Anyway, I made the fatal mistake of following those guys on Instagram, Philip Brown Menswear, about a year ago, and ever since then, they just put clothes up and shoes and they just go and buy them. And today is no different. That's a new shirt by Calvin Klein, I think it's part of their autumn winter collection. And I was just like, oh God, it's gonna happen. So I've now got to go and find out if they've got it in my size. And second of all, how quickly can I get it in my bag? This is the guy, this is the one. You put it up on Instagram, didn't you? Yeah, and I found them. And I hate them at the same time because the other day, they put these bad boys up as well. These shoes are just epic. I got a funny feeling they're gonna end up in a bag as well. It's literally like walking into a toy shop. If you love trainers and shoes, you have to come here. And that is an impressive wall. $1,000,000% sold. Anabolic light.
Our website manager,
Oh yeah. So, Philip Brown again got me, but it's all good. I'm going to actually put their website below because I love their shop so much. So you guys out there, if you want anything, you can check it out. That's like the worst light ever. Also, I made one other stop on the way back because I didn't tell you because I was actually in a conversation with the owner and I thought it was a bit rude to suddenly put a camera in his face. Finny's, go there every day, on the lanes near Elements Menswear, and I can't remember what the other shop is around there, but if you're in Norwich, go to Finny's, or it's sometimes known as Sam's, best chili con carne around. It's like I'm selling like every company in Norwich right now. Oh my elbows. Anyway, I need to get home, see my beautiful wife and take the dog for a walk. We've got a pretty awesome Batcave subject today as well to cover, so stick around for that. Don't turn around and start going, oh, clickbait, because you haven't stayed and watched the Batcave. God, that's frustrating. Clickbait, come on. Us. Would you accuse this beautiful face of clickbait? Stephen, you here for a walk? Let's go for a walk. Let's go. Carly's on a Skype call upstairs, so I was whispering, but this one, look how angry he is. I don't know if you can see it. He's so angry, so ready for a walk. He sits like this, facing the door, and he will not turn round until I put his harness on him. Now that is a diva. Dog walk done. Let's do Batcave. Oh, I love coffee. Right, so before we get into today's subject, I need to say a massive well done, first of all, to all of you who commented, got involved on the last Batcave subject. We were talking about the pyramid and where you sit in relation to how much effort you want to put in, that kind of stuff. It was a phenomenal response, and the amount of people messaging me on all platforms going, I'm happy to be in the 55%er, I'm a little bit of an animal, loving it, made so much sense. It was great because it offered so much perspective to so many people, and also a second tip of the cap and a well done for not being negative, you know, because a lot of people do not like to be told that they haven't got enough want or need to be the next Matt Fraser or Tia Claire Toomey. A lot of people are quite deluded in the fact that they're like, well, I am going to be that person, so why are you telling me to aim low? I'm not. You know, what it is, the point was about making sure that you hit these structures and these formats in each realm before you start to aim for the next one. Don't come in here and aim up there mentally, but you're only down here physically in your input. You know, I don't need to go over it again, but well done, because there's sometimes people who go out there, they're quite defensive and they don't like to hear the truth. And everyone who responded on that video, you have been phenomenal. So thank you so much. If you haven't seen it, it was the last video I put up, so go and check it out. And it was titled, "Do you agree?" Oh my God, it was clickbait. No, it wasn't. I was asking a question. Did you agree? And it seems like everyone did. Love a bit of clickbait attitude at the moment. There's a lot of it, people go around at the moment. Oh, this is clickbait. Tell you what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do this. And then title the video, "This is the world's best coffee." There you go, it's not clickbait because it actually happened. Anyway, today's subject is leading on from there a little bit, but it comes from a question that I was asked, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to make this all about dads and dad bods and stuff like that. That is a subject that we can really dive into singularly as we go through our journey of parenthood, which is going to happen in the next month for me, hopefully, and for John in the next 3 months. But it's about creating structure and understanding what your time constraints are. So the question was, let me just go back, was how are you going to manage your time and how are you going to avoid the infamous dad bod when you become a father, right? If you're not from the UK, it's a phrase used to describe guys essentially getting a little bit of a spare tire, rolled shoulders, and essentially losing all their gains when they become a father because they stop training, right? Bit of a general term, and I think it's quite a disrespectful term because I'm like, everybody's got their own priorities. Some people just don't fucking care about training. The second they have this little bundle in front of them, everything just matters less in terms of the aesthetics and all that kind of stuff. I personally think it's important for yourself and your own mental health and your own value for yourself to keep training and having time to yourself and looking after yourself. But that, again, it's a different subject. But one thing that I think a lot of people overlook, and I've kind of been looking into this, you know how my brain works by now. I think I've met, I would say about 50 people in the last 5 years, guys and girls, who were a little bit not really asked with their training before they became parents, and funnily enough, almost like within a year of having a little one, they're in the best shape they've ever been in. They've got the best relationship they've ever had with their body, with their training, their nutrition, guys and girls alike. And I'm like, is it because they suddenly want to be here for the little one, you know, longevity and all that kind of stuff for the family? And I think, for me personally, I think what it is when you look and think, what was their life like before they had kids, right? And what was it like? What's it like now? And do you know what the key thing is? It's time constraints, right? If you're in a relationship, you know what it's like, having fun, you're dating, you might be living together. The only structured time that you have Monday to Friday is normally your work hours. And guess what happens? You go and you come home when they say that you can leave. We are creatures who like structure and routine, right? So we stick at our jobs, we might hate them. This is why it's even funnier, because so many people hate their bloody job out there, but they still mindlessly go there every single day because something in here tells them that they need to, right? We love structure and routine. That's probably the only thing that we have in our life that keeps us adherent to something, right? And training, we're just like, just lucid time. If I don't go today, I'll go tomorrow. Tomorrow never really happens. It goes like once every fortnight or whatever. But suddenly, this little thing comes along which you adore and want to be around, and you want to escape at the same time. And there's something that happens in so many people which I think is phenomenal. It's beautiful psychology, where their time that they get to themselves becomes like, it's like the ring, you know, it's like the golden ring from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and you're like little Gollum holding on to this ring. This is your time. And I think when people value that more, because it's so small, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 2 hours a day, or 2 hours every few days. The people who go into the gym, they suddenly smash that workout. You'll find that they're going into the gym, they're leaving their phone in the bloody car. They're not even putting it on silent and having it on them, because they do not want to hear from anyone. They're like, headphones on, get in, got to get it done because I've got to be back at this time to pick little one up, or I've got to take it swimming, or I want to be home before it goes to bed. Whatever it may well be. I think it's forced structure, and that time
time constraint that they have placed upon them, whether they like it or not, just means every other bit of time they get is valuable and proportioned out so beautifully to fit their lifestyle. And I think that's what training has to be. And I think even if you haven't got children, right, and you have no plans to have them in the near future, it doesn't matter. You can still value your time more. Right, so one thing that I would love everybody to do and see if it actually worked for them, if they could really be rigid and stick to it, right, is when you go into the gym, I want you to set an alarm for 60 minutes later. Right, you can even do it as a timer if you want to. If you're somebody who's visual and likes to see it, you could set a time. I want you to set a timer for 60 minutes and watch it tick down. Right, go in and have it constantly in front of you while you're doing your workout. Once that timer goes off, you are out. It doesn't matter. Does not matter where you are in your set. If you've done the left arm and not the right arm, that'll be bloody hilarious if you have. But I want you to create that kind of tension on the time. Make it more precious. It doesn't have to be 60 minutes. It can be 40 minutes. It can be 20 minutes. But trust me, just do it as a test, because I'd be really interested to see what you guys and girls think, because I think so many of us are quite lucid with our time. We're just chilling out. It's a bit of a social. I do this, I do that. Trust me, the difference it makes when you make that time segmented. It starts here and it ends there. It's done. And what you do in between suddenly becomes so much more productive and proactive, and it's got a little bit more energy behind it. So go out there, do it. Literally, it would be phenomenal to see your feedback. Send me your messages on Instagram, on DM, TheLeanMachines Official. It would be great to hear what you're saying. Keep the conversation going. If you do things like this, if you're a parent and you've got any advice, if you're not and you've got different things that create structure in your lifestyle to make your time feel a little bit more precious, remember, sometimes it's not as simple as going, you're not promised today, tomorrow you could die any second. That is almost a bit like that, but that's sometimes a little bit too deep and far out there for people to understand. But this is what I'm trying to kind of get to, is look at your workout as if it could be the last one every single time you go in, and it will start to become a little bit more valuable as a part of your lifestyle. And yeah, this is just a little experiment. I'm really excited to see what you come up with. So 60 minutes, set that timer or have the alarm ready, and literally in and out within that time. That's all I'm asking. Just give it a bash. If it works, you have now got a new system of structure that you will have to implement every single time you walk into the gym. And trust me, your workouts, I'm gonna predict here that your workouts will be around 80% more effective if you put a little bit of constraint on it and a little bit more value and tension and pressure on it. It's funny how my head works. It goes from what you're gonna do when you get a dad bod to this is what goes in and this is what comes out. So I hope it helped. Thank you so much for watching as always. Comments below, keep the conversation going. You guys and girls out there are, I'm gonna say it, fucking awesome human beings. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't. If you've got any more back cave questions you want me to answer, you know where they're gonna be. I'll see you in the next one. Keep on rocking.